What's going on, everybody? It's Jake. We're back in for another YouTube video. As you can see, I have the car sitting here. We have a beautiful day here in Maryland. The sun's out, the paint is just popping off. So I wanted to take this opportunity to go ahead and get on the NA hood. So it's basically a hood that I bought from Subaru. It's made for a non-turbo Forester, and the reason being is because it does not have a hood scoop. So no top mount intercooler, no hood scoop. We can run that hood because we have the front mount intercooler. When I got the car painted, I got my paint guy to go ahead and paint the hood the exact same color so everything would match. So we have it down back. I'm gonna go ahead and get that on here in a few minutes. But if you guys like this type of content, be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna be doing some reaction videos here soon. Just been pretty busy around the yard, so I haven't had too much to film lately. Also, we have one more thing to do in the video. We're gonna be putting a fuel shutoff valve so I can very easily pump the tank and switch over to E85. It does have a flex fuel kit, so that means that it will adjust the map according to the E85 content that the computer sees. But at the same time, sometimes you want to boost that ethanol content quickly, so we could pump out some 93, fill it up with some E85 to really make some power. So we'll show you guys more about that in a few minutes, but before I go ahead and go get the hood and we get it on, let me pop the hood here and we're going to take a look at the powder coat, because I don't think I've shown you guys what it looks like in the sun, and it just pops. It's crazy. So let's take a look at it. Absolutely insane. I'm so glad I went with this powder coat color. And I've had a couple comments on my Instagram at Subi_Jake about how good the engine bay looks, and how everyone was really glad that I decided to not get the engine bay painted black like the car, because that kind of would have taken away from all the contrast here in the engine bay, which I totally agree with that. All these pipes against the silver backdrop, it makes everything flow perfectly. So I'm really happy with how the engine bay came out. You guys have already seen it tons of times if you've been on the channel, but I just wanted to get you a good look at the powder coat. So it looks even crazier in person. So without further ado, let's go ahead and put y'all on the time lapse. We'll get this hood on here. Stay tuned. Alright, so that is the NA hood. I have a couple bits here for the fuel system. I'm going to go ahead and grab them, but first I'm going to show you where I am plumbing into it. So at this cap right here, we're going to take out that cap. Our fuel flow valve is going to end about here, and then I'll be able to turn the little valve, and we will be able to put a hose on a barb right here, and then have the hose come out to here, to a drum or jug, and we can pump out, you know, however much fuel we want to get the ethanol content up, or in some cases to get the ethanol out of the fuel tank, so that way if it's sitting for over 2 weeks, we want gasoline to be in there, not E85. So we could also use it for that too. But let me go grab the bits, and we'll talk about them before we go ahead and put them on, so stay tuned. Alright, so here are the pieces that we have. We have a fuel shutoff valve, so that's what this is. So in this position it would be open. Not sure if you can see through, but then when you close it, it'd be in this position. So we're gonna tap into the fuel pressure regulator there. What I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and screw, so you see it only has a flow one way, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some grease on this O-ring, and then we'll get these two together, and then we'll show you what this piece does. So let's get that together. So I have that fitting tight in there. I'm gonna go ahead and take out this side, because We actually have another fitting similar to this one that has the correct size ORB. I believe this is 6AN ORB, but I thought it was bigger than that for some reason. And I have a smaller one at the shop, but we're at the house now, so I'll have to show you guys that in another video, but we'll at least get the gist of it. So this fitting here is going to screw into the fuel pressure regulator with a O-ring around here. So we'll screw that in, tighten it up, and then we'll be able to put our flow valve here like this. So we'll tighten those two up onto the fuel pressure regulator, and then we basically have a fuel shutoff valve. So we'll be able to open it, pump out our fuel, and there will be a barb similar to this on this end, as you can see. That way I can just keep a hose in the car, and if I ever want to pump it out, I can just plug the hose in, open the valve, and as long as this stuff doesn't ever leak, then I should be good to go. So let's go ahead and go out to the car, and we'll go ahead and get this piece put on. So let's check it out. Alright, so we are out at the car. I went ahead and took the plug out. It was just a 21mm. Sure, it's an AN size, but 21mm worked. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this fitting in here, and then we can go ahead and tighten it up, see if we can build some fuel pressure and see if she leaks. No reason for it to leak, so I'm not anticipating that, but we shall see. As you can see, we have it screwed into the fuel pressure regulator, so if I ever want to pump out the tank, we would just open that like that, and if I want to keep it closed, we just do that. So I'm thinking about potentially putting some type of safety wire on this. I don't really think anything is ever going to hit it, but that could potentially just be a safety net in case that something does hit it and it wants to get opened. But for now, it'll be good. Let's go ahead and key it up and see if we have any fuel leaks. So on this car, whenever the key is on, the fuel pumps just continue to run, but they just recirculate fuel. So if we had any leaks, then it would be showing right now because it's building fuel pressure even when the key is on and the engine is off. So you can kind of hear it, but yeah, we're clean. So I think this is gonna do real well, and like I said, we're gonna have a barb fitting coming off here, so that way if I ever want to pump it out, we'll just plug in the hose, hang it over the end, and we'll be able to get the ethanol content up or down, whatever we want to do really quickly. So yeah, that is pretty much it for today. I did have a couple comments about the exhaust cutout and how it sounds and how it's holding up. I haven't done too much driving of the car, so I'm not too sure about the longevity of how it will last, but I do know it has been working really well, and it makes the car just a blast. It's one of my favorite things about the car, so I will end up making another video about that, or potentially just adding it to the end of a video. But for now, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Just a couple things here that we did today that I think the car deserved and really helped make the car look better with the NA hood. I was very happy with how that turned out. The main reason I wanted to do that was because it kind of makes the whole front end look a bit more sleek. And like I was saying earlier, we don't technically need the hood scoop. Now, it would keep the engine bay temps down a little bit. I do understand that. But we still have a lot of airflow coming through that front mount, so I don't think that that will ever cause an issue. As for the dyno, the driving that I have done with the car has been pretty good. Not upset about the map or anything. It drives pretty well, and it doesn't do anything too funny. I think that Mike was trying to tune around the faulty grounds, so it might not be exactly as good as it could be. I'm hoping, at least. So we shall see. The car is extremely modified, so you can't really expect it to drive like a brand new car anyway, or a stock car. So with all that being said, I will see you guys here in the next one, maybe a couple weeks. Not quite sure when we're going to get on the dyno yet, but if you guys want more frequent updates, be sure to follow my Instagram at Subi_Jake3, because I just kind of post things on there every once in a while just to keep you guys up to date when I don't have time to film an entire video. So yeah, if you guys liked it, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.